What's up, guys? My name is SnyperSama, but you can call me Sniper. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I have some sad news. Today is the very last build that I am going to be creating and doing for Monster Hunter Wilds base game. If you are a longtime fan of the channel, maybe you've already seen a couple of them. I've dropped a couple of videos of Monster Hunter stories, and soon to come, there will probably be some Apex Legends, some Deadlock, more stories, so on and so forth. But that being said, it is going to be the last build, which is why I wanted to go out with the bang. This is the build that I created specifically for the crazy people. The people that like playing right on the line. They like dancing with the line of danger. Okay. Now, this build I am calling my Fortify Heroics build. I am not a speedrunner by any means. I've got some fast times, and I've stepped up my game when it comes to hunting. However, I'm not like the people that can go out and like a minute 30 arch-tempered arc. I'm not that guy. That's not happening. But I will never shy away from a challenge. And my challenge was to come up with a build that put it all on the line. Play by yourself and you leave it all out on the table. And that's what this is. Starting with the fact that this can be used on any single weapon. I just happen to do it on bow because bow is one of the few weapons that I feel like hits every single nook and cranny for me, that really like fits perfectly. This is my Calamitous Angel, and this thing is rolled with one thing and only one thing that is needed: Fortifying Pelt. Fortify, the way it works is you are going to increase your damage and your defense, your attack and your defense, if you will, every time you cart. Okay, you get an additional 10%, I believe, and then it's 20. I think it's 10 and 10%, actually. It might be 10 and 15. I'll have to double check. I'll put something up on the screen to correct me. I don't know the defense. The offense, though, the attack bonus that I know, after your first cart, you get 10% damage increase. After the second cart, you'll get a 20% damage increase. Not an additional 20% off of the 10, but it moves up another 10% to 20%. Okay? So, on your weapon, you need Fortifying Pelt. The other thing that you need on your weapon is just a lot of attack. Okay, this is the one time that I am going to recommend attack over affinity, and that is because we are maxing it out in every single way possible. Okay, on top of that, we have G Resounding Galahad. This is just the one that I decided to rock. You don't need anything else, but if you happen to get, the inkling to use this build, G Resounding is great because it comes with Horned Maestro naturally, and one of its main songs is Attack Up Large, which is very, very important. Okay, we have the Arcvulcan Helm Gamma. The reason we're rocking this, Weakness Exploit level 3. I mean, come on. We have the Azure Age Haori for the Latent Power, the Adrenaline Rush, the Quick Sheath. Raid Out Sandbrace's Gamma. Okay, Azure Age Obi Alpha. And we have the Ray Sandgreaves Gamma. The reason we are using these pieces and why they're so random is because they all have different purposes. Arcvulcan Helm is going to give us our Weakness Exploit. The Azure Age is going to give us the Latent Power and the Adrenaline Rush and Quick Sheath, which are very, very nice damage boosters, affinity boosters, stamina boosters, and nice little quality of life of Quick Sheath. But on top of that, the Raid Out pieces are going to give us a little more comfort because we are playing with our life, quite literally. Okay, if you play this build like I have been, will be using this. You will go in, you will get carded immediately, and then you will sit there below the 35% health threshold for heroics. And it is absolutely hilarious because I've only successfully hunted one thing without making a ton of mistakes and losing, but it's fun nonetheless. On top of that, we have Stun Resist because there are some attacks that may stun you, but they may not cart you. Very, very few, but there is a couple. And then we have my Golden Age Charm with just Attack Boost 3 and Item Prolonger. The idea behind this build, I didn't even change my mantle either. The idea behind this build is all damage, that's it. All damage. That's all it is. Okay. With everything here and our decorations, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential jewels. These are our heroics. Heroics is a very, very good skill if you are that guy. Okay? If you're the Giga Chad and you can do this, Heroics is an insanely good skill. Attack plus 30% and defense increasing effects are negated while active. Basically, what happens is when your health is below 35%, you get these crazy bonuses. At level 1, 2, 3, 4, you get defense and attack. Minus level 1. Level 1, you only get defense. Okay? But at level 5, you get rid of all the defense and you go all offense. You become a glass cannon. Mix that with Fortifying Pelt, and now after your first 2 cards, you are an even bigger glass cannon because you can't make a mistake. Include the fact that we have Lord Soul thanks to our weaponry. We get the 5% damage. We are very, very easily able to break 500 raw attack with everything, okay? Back to the decorations. We have our 2 adaptuals. This is just because we are playing with our life a little bit. We want to make sure that we're not getting hit, especially if we're in, like, New Udra's arena. We're not getting hit by New Udra's flame body or any of the lava from the heat. We have our chain jewel for burst, and then we have attack. We have shotproof. If you're an absolute mad lad and you want to use this with other people, shockproof is there, but you can substitute this for anything you want. And then a growth jewel for the additional damage increase. On my weapon specifically, I ended up going with something bow focused, opener and precise, bandolier precise, and focus precise, and that's because it just works for me. For my horn, I have a KO jewel, and then I have Sonorous and attack. I don't actually need the Sonorous. G-Resounding Galahad comes with it, comes with Horn Maestro, but it's there. The idea behind this build is to have a crap ton of attack. You can see here we have 335. That is with a Hunting Horn Melody and with a Mega Demon Drug. Okay? If we were to start taking some damage, we'll go ahead and... Let me go ahead and put this on 2. Take a little bit more. Just so we can speed up the process. We're going to go down a bit. There we go. Now we are below the Heroics threshold, meaning our attack just skyrocketed to 428. Okay, now on top of that, go ahead and go to skills. We'll turn on self-improvement. Self-improvement from 428 is going to give us, or whatever it was, I don't remember. I think it went up a little bit, okay? 428. We have no HP. But what we do have is the ability to activate burst. So I was a little early on the dodge there. There we go. Discerning dodge with Adrenaline Rush. We have 460 through raw attack. Okay, now this is before Fortify is proccing. Fortify does not work, from what I can tell, in the arena or in the training range. For whatever reason, it doesn't count as an actual cart. So that's a little disappointing, so we can't show the full bit. But I will put something up on the screen, basically being like, hey, this is where you're at. With Fortify included, 20% of 469, 470, you put us somewhere around the 540 mark. In fact, I will put something up now that is breaking down everything, because we have a lot of damage writers, and we're going to go through all of them. Not only do we have the attack boost giving us the 2% raw, this is naturally going to be on our weapon. We are not going to actually see this increase. Okay, Heroics is going to happen when you break this little line right here. You can see that it's glowing. We have Heroics active. Good way to do that. Take a couple of hits, use a couple of Mega Barrel Bombs, or you can do like I did, which is a mix of things with the Corrupted Mantle. Okay, Weakness Exploit is going to give us a little bit of affinity, just because if you are rocking all offense, a little affinity goes a long ways to make sure that you're not hitting weak strikes. Adrenaline Rush, plus 15% or plus 15 raw attack. Including with Adrenaline Rush, we have Burst, which is going to give us an additional, because I'm using bow, plus 6. Depending on what weapon you are using, that is going to vary just a little bit, but not a crazy amount. Okay, Fortifying Pelt, which is going to do the 10% damage increase, and then the 20% depending on the amount of carts that you guys are committing to. This build is crazy. Not because it is so insanely broken, because if you're actively trying to use this build, you might just actually be crazy. At least for me, it's a lot of fun, and I like testing my metal against these different monsters, especially some of these high-end ones. It's something that I will probably, now that the base game is over and there's no more updates coming, it's probably something that I will be working on, is just kind of memeing, seeing what I can do with this type of build. If I happen to come up with anything else that may be interesting, maybe I get the random tick for some sort of different build crafting. We'll see what's going on. But that is going to do it for today's build. Thank you all for coming and watching it. Thank you all for hanging out. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're as crazy as I am, make sure to let me know in the YouTube comments, because I would love to know if people are actually using this build. I'll see all of you in the next one. Farewell.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate